Single versus dating after a breakup. Now, this is a challenging subject because it's very subjective. It depends on how long you were with your previous partner, who dumped who, what were the circumstances of the breakup, and what is your emotional state right now. So I will get straight into it and say, if you are 0 to 3 months into a breakup, you probably should stay single. The trauma is still very real. You're still probably trying to figure out why it happened. Also, your brain and your emotions are probably trying to get you either to go back to your previous partner or to find a new partner to fill the gap and band-aid the pain of where they used to be. Right now, it's more than likely that you're emotionally unavailable. And if that's the case, you should stay single. You should be working on you, working on your purpose, working on the things that you got wrong. Maybe it's a case of you've let yourself go, you need to lose a bit of weight. Maybe it's a case of that you were too needy and you've got some emotional issues, some attachment issues that you need to be working on. And that's totally fine. You should be focused on your goals and on your purpose. After all, you are at your most attractive when you've got your shit together, when you are working on the things that you need to work on, when you are aware of your thoughts, feelings, and needs. Therefore, a breakup is a wonderful opportunity if you let it be. Being single is not a bad thing. It's actually pretty awesome if you let it be, if you embrace it. But we now live in a society that puts out the message of if you're single, you are somehow broken and damaged. And that's not the case at all. Don't get me wrong. We as human beings, we seek companionship. We have evolved to survive in groups. This is how the human race has got to where we've got to. So I understand and I hear you that the urge to seek out someone new is very strong right now. But you have to be real with yourself. Are you ready to start dating? Or do you need or expect that person just to cover your wounds with a band-aid? Now, if you feel ready to start dating, then have at it. But you really need to ask the question, are you ready? And if you are ready, great. Get yourself back out there. Now, that's not to say you have to be 100% ready. You could still be thinking about your ex. You could still be saying to yourself, look, I miss them, but I understand that that part of my life is over and I'm now in the process of seeking out the next part of my life and it will be what it will be. So if you are ready to get out there and start dating, now guys, I would say a bare minimum to start dating should be around 4 to 5 months post breakup. Now, some people start dating quicker than that. Some people start dating much later than that. Some people can take years to start dating again. It's an individual preference, but I would say a bare minimum of 4 months to appreciate and understand what happened and why it happened, and then you can start putting the steps in place to moving forward. So you need to look at dating as a process of selection, not rejection. Now, the first person that you go on a date with more than likely won't go beyond 2 or 3 dates. And the reason that is, you still may be a little unsure of yourself. They just may not be compatible. You may be comparing your ex to them, or just like a McDonald's meal. They look great on the outside, but they're not so great on the inside. The important thing here is not to settle for the first person that you are attracted to, because the urge there is to attach to the first person that shows you a little bit of attention. So this is why I do advocate more towards staying single for a little bit, and I will use my personal experience. My ex and I split up May of last year, May of 2020. Okay, we're now in July 2020. I've had plenty of time to recover from that breakup. I've had plenty of time to analyze what I got wrong. I've had plenty of time to analyze what she got wrong. I've also had plenty of time to speak to breakup coaches, speak to other people that were going through the things that I were going through. Therapy, getting back into the gym, taking up new hobbies, making new friends, reading a lot more books, becoming more educated about psychology, about relationship dynamics, about breakups and why they happen and how to recover from them. So I embraced, for the first time in my life, I embraced the breakup. I allowed it to shape me. We learn our best lessons through our worst pain. The best shit happens when we're uncomfortable. So, have I dated between last year and this year? Yes, I have. None of it's worked out, but I've got back out there. I'm not taking it personally that it hasn't worked out. I've been on a few dates with a few women. I've told that woman, okay, look, this isn't working for me, this isn't right. And I've been told by women, this isn't working for me, this isn't right. It doesn't mean I'm no good, and it doesn't mean that they're no good. We're just not right for each other. So through the process of staying single, I was able to work on myself to the point where I've got enough awareness of myself that I know what I want, I know what I don't want, and I know my boundaries. And this is why I do advocate for being single, especially for the first 4 months. In fact, I would actually encourage anybody to be single for the first 6 months of the breakup, because the grieving process, the pain, especially if you've been in a relationship for a few years, let's say a minimum a year, let's just call it a year. I was in my last relationship for almost 4 years. I wasn't going to get over that in 5 minutes. So even though the urge for me was to either get back with my ex or to find someone new that's going to take my pain away was very, very strong, I had enough awareness to know that if I was to do that, I was going to hurt myself in the long run, because I wouldn't level up. I wouldn't learn from my mistakes, because that person is validating me. And this is something I've been working on with my therapist. I do have a problem with self-validation. I've become a lot better at that over the last year because I've been doing the work. So I depended a lot, and have for most of my life, getting my validation from external sources, i.e. family, friends, partner. So I got a lot of my validation from my ex-partner. And whilst getting external validation is not a bad thing, getting most of your validation from an external source is a bad thing. So you need to use the process of being single to learn how to validate yourself more, to learn how to love yourself more, because this is what creates the most attractive version of yourself. When you've got your shit together, that breeds attraction. You will naturally attract people that are on your level, because you are putting that message out into the world. Hey, this is me. You are your best advertisement. So for me, what do I do to bring out the best version of myself? I coach you guys, because helping you finding solutions to your problems actually helps me to find solutions to my problems, because it causes me to think in different ways. I make sure that I keep my body healthy. I'm in the gym 4 or 5 times a week. I make sure that I have a well-balanced nutritional intake, as well as having a healthy social life and indulging every now and then. I make sure that I read plenty of books. I do my therapy. I do my journaling. I reflect. I take up new hobbies. This creates the most attractive version of me. This puts out the message. Hey, this is me. I'm a deep, funny, complex individual. If you want to get to know me, you're welcome. Step up. With all that said, this will lead you naturally back into dating because you've got your shit together. You know who you are and what you're about. So when somebody sits down with you and they say, tell me about yourself, you have a much better understanding of your why and your purpose. And what is your why and purpose? It's a belief. It's a value system. And that person will be able to identify with your value system. And if you're compatible, the second, third, fourth, fifth date happens and it becomes a relationship. That only happens if you know yourself. And that only happens if you spend time investing in yourself. You are your greatest investment. You are your greatest advertisement. So give yourself the time to fix the stuff that you need to fix, to work on the stuff that you need to work on, and learn to love and validate you. It's all about you. It's all about getting you back. You get you back, people will want you because they see how well put together you are. They see how attractive you are, not just because of your physical features or because you've got nice teeth or you've got nice hair. No, because you are the best package deal for them. That's all for today. Thank you for listening. As always, if you want to work with me, my details are in the description below. You can email me at thelovefix20@gmail.com to arrange a one-to-one voice coaching session if you need help getting through this very tough time right now. Take care.